June 19, 2025. A date etched in the annals of history. Sirens wail across Israel, piercing the relative calm. This time, it's not a proxy war. No more shadows and whispers. Iran launches Operation True Promise 3, a name heavy with implication, a direct missile and drone assault, a brazen act of aggression. From its own territory, a clear declaration of war. The world watches, transfixed and terrified, as years of covert conflict, of clandestine operations erupt into open warfare, a full-blown conflagration. This is Iran's answer, its defiant riposte to recent Israeli airstrikes, a response long in the making. That devastated its nuclear program, a crippling blow to its ambitions. Tehran sees these attacks as existential threats, a challenge to its very survival. Demanding a response, a show of force that's loud and unmistakable, a message delivered with explosive force. Ballistic missiles rain down on Israeli cities, turning bustling streets into scenes of chaos, shattering the illusion of safety, leaving citizens in fear. Iran's message: we can reach you, we can hurt you. The era of deniable attacks, of hidden hands, is over. The fragile balance in the Middle East is gone, perhaps forever. Deterrence now means open fire, a dangerous new reality. The international powerful nations, locked in a deadly spiral, the stakes regional stability, and perhaps the future of the Middle East. The abyss has opened, and no one knows how deep it goes. Iran's targets were chillingly deliberate. A missile slams into Soroka Medical Center. Only quick action saves lives. Another hits the Weizmann Institute, destroying years of scientific research. These aren't military sites, they're symbols of healing and progress. Iran's message: nowhere is safe, not even hospitals or centers of knowledge. By striking civilian and intellectual hubs, Iran aims to terrorize and cripple Israel's spirit. This is psychological warfare, designed to break the will to fight. The attacks mark a new chapter. Civilians are now on the front lines. Iran's retaliation is asymmetric. If its future is threatened, so is Israel's. The cost of conflict is now paid by ordinary people. The war has come home. Iran's new arsenal changes everything. The Fatah-1 hypersonic missile, traveling up to Mach 15, is nearly impossible to intercept. Alongside it, the Qasem Basir solid-fuel missile launches with little warning and high precision. These weapons overwhelm even Israel's advanced defenses. For years, Israel relied on technological superiority. Now, that edge is eroding. Iran's missiles can strike deep inside Israel in minutes, creating constant fear. Deterrence is crumbling. Threats are now backed by unstoppable hardware. The psychological impact is as devastating as the physical. Israel faces a stark choice: strike back massively or risk devastating blows. The region stands on the edge of a wider, more destructive conflict. Every missile launch, every act of aggression, brings the region, already simmering with tension, ever closer to the nuclear brink, a point of no return that could alter the course of history. Israel's long-held Samson option means devastating nuclear retaliation, a response of last resort. If its very existence is threatened, pushing the region into unimaginable chaos. Iran's potential attacks on cities could inadvertently trigger that catastrophic threshold, setting off a chain reaction. Meanwhile, Iran relentlessly races toward achieving full nuclear capability, a goal that intensifies global anxieties, seeing it as its only guarantee of security and survival in a hostile environment. The logic is dangerously inverted. Both sides now feel increasingly compelled to act preemptively before the other gains what they perceive as the ultimate upper hand. Miscalculation and pervasive fear relentlessly drive critical decisions. One wrong move could irrevocably mean mutual annihilation for both nations. A single nuclear strike would utterly devastate cities, poison the entire region with deadly radiation, and trigger an unprecedented global catastrophe. The advanced Fatah-1 hypersonic missile could potentially deliver a devastating nuclear warhead in a matter of mere minutes. The chilling shadow of nuclear war ominously looms over every critical decision in Jerusalem and in Tehran. The entire world anxiously watches, desperately hoping that the ultimate red line, the nuclear threshold, isn't ever crossed. This conflict threatens to destabilize the delicate balance of power. It has the potential to engulf the entire world, impacting every nation and every community. Iran warns US intervention means attacks on American bases across the region, potentially sparking a wider and more devastating war. If the US responds, the war instantly escalates, drawing in more nations and increasing the risk of widespread destruction. Drawing in superpowers, each with their own strategic interests and military capabilities. The Strait of Hormuz could close, sending oil prices soaring and economies into chaos, triggering a global recession. China and Russia, with their own interests, would be forced to act, potentially escalating the conflict further. What began as a regional war could ignite a global confrontation. The consequences would touch every corner of the planet. Energy, trade, security. The world is more connected than ever. Middle East flames can spread everywhere. The clock is ticking and the stakes are incredibly high. The international community must act, urgently, decisively, and with a unified purpose. The fate of millions, perhaps billions, hangs in the balance. The world stands on the brink of a precipice, where one wrong move could lead to unimaginable consequences.